Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue. Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin. Tonight, you just get to deal with me. Our illustrious co-host, Derry Wells, is out for the evening, and hopefully we'll have him back next week. But we have an outstanding episode. Outstanding. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Anthony is here. So for those of you who don't know, Ant just did a documentary short film-ish thing on me not too long ago, which I am beyond thankful for, which is just incredible to see. I think it's 50,000 views or something like that, which is nuts that 150,000 people have had to look at my ugly face for 20 minutes. Which is really, really cool. But before we get into all of that, why don't you take 60 seconds and tell the world who you are and what you do?
Yeah. Like Charlie said, I'm Ant. I have a YouTube channel. I make barbecue documentaries, and my series is called BBQ Story, and I drop one for 2025. I'm going to do one every 4 weeks, and it just basically tells the story of just some of the more known barbecue places in the United States and also some lesser known ones. I just like to find places that have a good story. So that's it.
You were crushing it.
Thank you.
Crushing it, bro. Crushing it. So now how long have you been doing the YouTube stuff?
Wow. So YouTube in general, I've always kind of been on there. YouTube came out when I was like in my senior year of high school, I believe.
Okay.
So like I've always been on YouTube. I was always messing around and, making skit videos with my friends and just posting. Like I have like a bunch of different channels that I kind of like was doing. And then I got into barbecue and decided to make a barbecue channel. So that the barbecue channel side of it started back in 2021. So close to 4 years I've had this channel. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Now, you have not always been a barbecue YouTube storyteller.
No.
Right. So, are you from Nashville?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from California, Southern California.
Southern California. Mm-hmm. All right. So I have multiple people at my restaurant that are from California.
Oh, really? Okay.
Scott being one of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know Scott
his son Riley is from California.
Okay.
And then we have another gentleman, Jason. I don't know if Jason was there when you filmed or not.
I don't think so.
He's newer.
Okay.
But they're all from California.
That's so funny.
And there's a debate in the restaurant of, you said it, that you're from Southern California.
Yeah.
Right? So how far north can you go into California before you're not from SoCal anymore?
Oh, got you. Yeah, that's a good question. I think anything. No, that's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because like Northern California, we call it Northern California, but if you look at the state, it's kind of like the middle of the state. So like, I think it's all just subjective.
So there's a debate going on in my restaurant right now that if you live on the north side of LA, then you're from Northern California.
Fair enough.
Right? And from literally like downtown south, that's SoCal.
Okay. I got you.
I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I don't even know if I could.
I'd say it's like a culture
that I've been
thing.
to Southern California before.
Yeah, Southern California people are like different, I would say. So I guess you can make distinctions like that. That's fair.
All right. So you grew up in Southern California. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Cal State San Bernardino.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you study at Cal State?
Accounting.
Accounting.
Yeah.
Okay. Accounting, barbecue.
Yeah.
I can see the correlation.
Yeah,
Not really.
there is kind of a correlation. It's kind of the way I've just gone about life. The only reason why I chose accounting to begin with was when you're in your senior year of high school, you have like this class that's like college prep, and they make you sit down and they ask you, you know, over a series of weeks or whatever it may be, what major you want to do in college. So me being a kid who's just like, you know, having fun with my friends, playing video games, going out, you know, partying, whatever, I was like, well, I'm just going to pick the first one. And, you know, it's in alphabetical order. So ACC is before ART. So accounting, I had no idea what it was, but that's what I chose and I stuck with it.
Got it. Got it. So you graduated with an accounting degree.
Mm-hmm.
Push numbers for a little while.
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years you did a lot of adding and subtracting.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Accruals and deficits and all the things, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So how do you go from being an accountant for 10 years to going, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to go tell stories on YouTube. And not only am I going to tell stories, like I could understand if you would have like go tell stories of accounting firms throughout the area, right? You know,
Right.
hey, how'd you get started? How'd you do? How do you do this? But you said, no, I'm going to go learn and tell people's barbecue stories.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wow. That's a great question. It definitely evolves, and especially where I was in life, it wasn't like a very easy decision to make. So I kind of got to take it back to, I have 3 younger brothers like that are very much younger than I am. And I almost treat them like well, when they were younger, they were like my nephews, basically. They're a lot more like brothers now that we're all adults. Yeah. But I remembered I would always tell them, like, you need to, you know, I'm in college right now. Before, when I was in high school, I had so much time. You guys need to, you know, do the things that you want to do, whether it be, you know, YouTube, or if you want to do like anything creative, start your own business, you should do that now. And then I graduated college. I was like, oh, I have a job now. So I tell them, hey, you're in college now. Like, you guys should just like be smashing it, doing all the things that you need to do, follow your dreams right now. And then I got married. And then I started to have that same conversation with them. And I stopped myself because I could see their eyes like glazing over because I keep telling them these things. And I was like, it's crazy how if I would have followed my own advice back when I was in college, or back when I first got my job before I was about to get married, then I could have done something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just kind of took that and I said, okay, you know, I was just about to have a daughter. So, you know, time was not really a thing that I was going to have. But I decided while I'm doing my full-time job, I'm going to try and do this on the side and see if it picks up. So from 2021 of February till 2022 of February, it took 1 year to make my first dollar. And barbecue's not cheap, man. Like, you know, think about it. Like, you make a brisket video, like you're spending over $100 in a weekend. And then on top of that, filming the video,
and your
editing
time,
the video, right?
editing,
exactly.
Yeah.
So no sleep, a lot of sacrifices, but made my first dollar in February of 22. And then from there, I was kind of like exploring different like mediums, like not just cooking, but I was like, let me try React. Because I saw React as like a big deal. And you know what React is, right? Where, you know, influencers go on, you know, their YouTube channels and they watch viral videos or, you know, just react to something, and that's content.
It's like the remix of like Gordon Ramsay does all of his things.
Exactly.
And he talks about how people
that's his content is React.
Yeah.
So I started doing that and it picked up like it blew up, and it blew up so much that I was making in December of 2022. It was like I was making more than 3 times as much as I was making at my daytime job at accounting in Tennessee.
Wow.
So at that point I was like, okay, well, what's stopping me from quitting my job?
So before you go farther, let me unpack a little bit of that.
Okay.
So like you're making React videos on the weekends, at night, whatever.
1 a week.
Right. Okay. So you're making 1 video a week, and you're making 3 times the amount of money that you were making in your day job.
Yeah.
So obviously there's all kinds of thoughts about why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And not that. But do you have a whole bunch of subscribers? Are you?
That's the funny thing. I didn't have that many subscribers.
Okay.
So I had maybe 15,000 subscribers. But
Okay.
every video I was doing was getting like 200, 300,000 views. And, you know, sponsors were paying for that too. So like in one deal, like I was making more money on the sponsorship than the ad revenue.
Yeah.
Because React content is like, I don't want to get too much in the details, but like CPMs will alter depending on what your content is. And like React content is very like kids like React, right?
Yeah.
Teenagers like React. It's not really, you're not going to get much money from the advertisers when you do React content. But yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So how did you build? You said you had not a lot of subscribers at 15,000. Some people think 15,000 is quite a few.
Not to quit your job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. And in the grand scheme of things, you're right. It's really not. But, you know, how'd you build it from nothing to 15,000?
Yeah.
Just doing the React videos just built you up that much?
It was the React. Yeah, definitely. I think it allowed me to express myself, like put in jokes and put in like my thoughts and like just little humor things, and people really resonated with it. And that's when I noticed the subscribers were really climbing. So it went from like, you know, 15, and then by February, I think I had like 40,000, something like that. So, I mean, it was like really growing really, like it grew faster back then than it does now for BBQ Story. And we can
Really?
I kind of know why, and I don't know if you want to talk about that right now. But
Sure.
Yeah. So just like I was saying, React content is very personal, right? Like you see Ant, and Ant is reacting to something, and you're like, oh, Ant's so funny, or Ant's so introspective, whatever they think, or Ant's an idiot, right? And I want to watch this idiot like talk about things he doesn't know. Like that's fair too. But with BBQ
That's what people
Story,
say about my podcast. It's wonderful.
fair enough.
It's
fair
great.
enough. Yeah. And but with BBQ Story, it's
What's going on, guys? I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the owner of Single Tree Barbecue, located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 2805 Old Fort Parkway. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 until 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 11 to 3. If you want some smoked wings all the way to some Texas-style smoked brisket, y'all come see us. We have some amazing lunch specials during the week and outstanding barbecue right here in the Middle Tennessee area. We can't wait to see you guys.
It's not that. Like, I'm not even in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because of that,
you make cameos.
Sometimes, yeah, I'll pop in here and there, but my main focus with it is to tell the story of the person.
Yeah.
And if I feel like my presence will help amplify this story, whether it be me trying the food, right? And having a reaction to it, or, you know, whatever the case may be, if it doesn't add to the story, there's a lot of clips that I'm in the barbecue story and doesn't make it to the final cut. Like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
So because of that, you know, people are like, a lot of the comments, like, first of all, it's great because you never get negative comments on barbecue story. Like, I don't think I've gotten a single one that said like something negative. With React, it's like probably like 70-30, like 30% are people who like hate you, and they're clicking on the video and they're going to push thumbs down immediately, and they're going to say something nasty in the comments. But with barbecue story, it's like 100, like I'm hitting at like 100%. I haven't gotten one negative comment. But with that, I also get 15% saying, you know, on your video, it'd be like, hey, Charlie, I'm going to be at your restaurant next week. And I'm like, I'm not Charlie. I'm Ant's Barbecue, you know? So because of that, the subscribers don't go up because they're not, people subscribe to people, not channels. And there's not really a face to the channel when I just do barbecue story. And recently, I am not doing any other content but barbecue story now. So I'd expect maybe it picks up eventually.
You still grow pretty well.
Not as fast as the React times though. Like I had like
crazy.
40 like a year and a half ago, and I have 85 now.
Yeah, like I was paying attention. Yeah, but that's, I mean, you're talking about 42,000, 43,000 subscribers in a year. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're getting 800, 900 subscribers a week.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
I got 70 subscribers last week, and I threw a party.
Yeah.
I would too,
stoked. Man. Heck yeah.
I mean, I was
Dude, the first 100 was hard, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That took months.
I'll never forget when I started this business. I had a TikTok because my kids had TikTok. I had an Instagram, same reason. Okay. My social media medium was Facebook and Twitter. Facebook was so I could keep up with my high school buddies and my Army buddies. Twitter was where I got my news because I could get all kinds of different perspectives, right? So I really liked it. But I didn't post anything anywhere. Once in a blue moon, I would post a picture of me and my wife at a brewery or something. Yeah. But hardly ever. And then I had a YouTube that I started, probably 20 years ago. And I had one subscriber. No idea why, because there was no content on there at all. There was one video on there, and it was of a.
You like your username?
It was my niece. Yeah, they liked the username. That was it. It was my niece singing a rap song in the backseat of a car that I thought was hilarious. Yeah, and posted it. It was just a 5-year-old little girl. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. But it amazes me how hard it is to really truly grow in the sea of what we call social media today. And I still truly believe that we're all so early in the game.
Oh yeah. I totally agree with you.
I mean, just incredibly early. I mean, like super early. Like it's not like, I know guys that, are just now starting social media pages, and I'm like, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're good. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
We're at the early stages,
but it's really, really hard to grow it.
Yeah.
So if you were going to give some advice for people, whether it's YouTube or I know you primarily just do YouTube, right? So we'll just stick with that. For if you're going to start a YouTube channel today, whether it's to do react videos or full stories or just, shorts, whatever you're trying to build your channel. What do you think's most important?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I like the way you asked it too, because the reality is that every social media is different. Yeah. So like it's called you've heard the term algorithm, right? Like the algorithms are different, but algorithms are based on data that's taken from people. Right. And with YouTube, what they're looking for is retention. So one of the main things I would say is, first of all, is understand who your audience is. So like whenever you make a video, whenever you make a hook, pretend like there's a person there that you're trying to get interested in it and talk directly to that person every time you make a video. The second thing is you want to have a collection of videos that cater to that person. So it's like, I see it all the time, especially in barbecue, because, and it's awesome. Okay. Like I want to make that known. Like I see a lot of people starting to do like barbecue story type videos, you know what I mean? And the problem with that though, is that I see so many people who have these great audiences who love the way that they cook and what they bring to the table. And then now you're starting to do this other content. Like the algorithm's not going to know what to do with you. You know what I mean? Like unless you're going to go all in, like I'm doing now, like you kind of got to stick to one thing, I would say. You got to target an audience and just like pummel them with content that they can't help but click and watch, that they can't wait to click and watch. So that's what I would say.
Somebody told me the other day that, and we've talked about this, I think before, that thumbnails are like, they're the thing.
Yeah. I told you my story about thumbnail, right? I changed a thumbnail on a video that had 40,000 views in 28 days. And I changed the thumbnail, changed the title. That video has, I think, like 700,000 views now. And it doubled in like 3 days after I changed it. It's everything, honestly. Yeah.
So I'm not good at thumbnails.
Okay. Not many people are. I'm not good at thumbnails,
I'm really trying.
Yeah.
Some of some of the thanks. Appreciate that. For if you didn't hear Trent, he said I'm getting way better. Are you talking about the newest ones? Yeah. Okay. So my original thumbnail was essentially our logo.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that.
Okay. And it would have your name on there and a picture of you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's consistent. All
Branding.
right. Branding.
Yeah.
ABB, always be branding. So, and from a business standpoint, that makes a lot of sense. You always got a brand. But from a social media standpoint, with a red, white, and black logo, and it clicked for me the other day when I'm looking through the homepage of YouTube and I see my podcast.
Yeah.
I see my YouTube channel and it pops up. I'm searching for it though. So then I scrolled through just a little bit quicker to see if I could see it. And I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And I was looking for it.
Wow.
And I was like,
Ding.
Yeah. That's what they mean by thumbnail. So now I've changed it to where, and I realized it's almost like clickbait. Like the thumbnail is, okay, we got to talk about something. And whatever we talk about in our podcast,
Yeah.
there's got to be something that I put on that thumbnail
Yeah.
that makes us go, let me click on that.
Yeah.
So that brings me full circle to this.
Okay.
We brought up Gordon Ramsay earlier.
Yeah.
You did a video
Yeah.
on Gordon Ramsay
Oh yeah, I did.
and his brisket. Tell me how good that was.
That was awful. Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah.
It was,
But I knew it just from watching the video. I was like,
Yeah.
am I really going to waste a brisket right now?
and you did it anyways.
Yeah, I did.
So how bad was it really? I mean, was it like pot roast? Like that's what because I've seen the video you're talking about and I watched your video.
I would say
So-
with a pot roast, and this is just my own personal preference, like the meat has to shine. And I got that brisket from like Walmart and it wasn't even grated. Like, you know, like they have those briskets that aren't even like select. Like,
Yeah.
who knows what? It's like dog food basically.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, the brisket tastes really bad. So, I mean, like in such a bland recipe, like the one that Gordon had, like if the meat tasted good, I think that the recipe would have tasted good. But I didn't have a good cut.
If you would have got a high end prime cut,
then it would have been
or,
delicious, right?
A Snake River, or
Yeah, it would have been
even
like a delicious-
Chatel or Black Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a great pot roast,
Probably
but it was
would've
like
been.
a bad pot roast is what it tasted like. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
I had a Polish nanny once
Okay.
and she cooked some stuff. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But it was just like that. It was like bad pot roast. And like I'm just thinking I'm thinking about it right now, and it was like eating meat flavored sawdust.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't get the taste out of your mouth fast enough.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Something like that.
good
It was
stuff.
very similar to that
I love it.
experience. Yeah.
All right. So you've done a lot of storytelling. And you have a lot coming up.
Yeah. I do.
You know, by the time this airs, Snows will have been already out for a few
Yeah.
weeks, but
It'll be out in the next 24 hours.
yeah,
Of today.
today,
Yeah.
right? But, so let's start there
Uh-huh.
and then we can kind of work back. But, have you ever been to Snows before
No.
you went and did their story?
First time I ever went.
So what do you think?
It's incredible, honestly. And like, I mean that when I say it, because the experience is like nothing I've ever seen before. So have you ever been to New York?
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically imagine, you know, like when you go to New York and you like walk around, you'll hear like someone speaking French and then you like turn the corner, someone speaking German. There's like a Jewish community.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but like with 200 people, like a miniature version of that, 200 people, but you're in like the middle of nowhere. Like it's like 60 miles from the Austin airport and there's like nothing but cows around you. Yet there's this little barbecue place with 200 people and there's like people from like 25 different countries, like all like talking to each other, interacting, taking pictures. They have a free bar in the morning at 7:30. You've been there before?
No, I haven't been there, but I know their store
like
pretty well.
Literally like mixed drinks and like everything. It's crazy. And it's just like a party. And the thing is about it is the food is like really good. And what's crazy is they don't have warmers. I don't know if you knew that. Like, that's insane to me, right?
Yeah.
They literally have to cook it exactly to the point where it's going to be done. And like these girls come out with these bowls and then they just fill up the buckets and they put it in the hot wells and they just serve it that way.
So I did have that curiosity gets me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're a brisket guy as well, I believe, from the conversations we've had. But so, because Clay cooks all the brisket,
Yes,
right?
he does.
So
and the ribs.
Clay cooks all the brisket. Well, what's he do with it? Because if they don't have a warmer, I'm sure they let it rest. Yeah. Right. They don't just serve it
They
immediately.
put it on
right?
the table. So once it's done, like the brisket at Snow's, and the food is really good at Snow's. So like, first of all, like pork steaks, like I've had pork steaks at other places. Like I think so far Snow's has been my favorite one. I like the simplicity of their mop. Like it's not too salty. It's not too overpowering. You get to taste the pork. Yeah. And then they're just cooked really well. And I just love the taste of like.
Well, they cook their pork steaks on an open pit, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's like a hog cooker.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a box pit with like coals at the bottom. Yeah. And that taste, man, when the like fat hits the coals, like there's dude, yeah. That's why whole hog's my favorite. Yeah.
Speaking my language.
Yeah. That beats brisket to me.
Yeah. We're gonna do an event in April.
Oh, nice! Tackling a whole hog.
You'll need to come down for that.
Yeah, let me know.
I will for sure.
Okay.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
Trent will be there.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, what is something at Snow's that you were like, not disappointed with, but surprised with?
It was the brisket and the ribs. It was so simple because everything's just salt and pepper, right? Yeah. But the flavor and texture is really different. Okay. So the brisket is cooked pretty hot to start, right? Okay. So it's being cooked like probably like 275, 300 degrees. And because of that, like you can hear the brisket like sizzling. And it adds like a flavor profile to it that's very different when you do a brisket low and slow. So once they have it like kind of hot and it's like curling at this point, right? Like, like disaster if you're doing like low and slow. Right. So Clay wraps it and he does it like very tight. And in the video, you'll be able to see it. Like I got his hands like really how meticulous he wraps it. He makes it like really sealed and it just softens in there. So you get like a nice, soft, dark bark, but it also has like this flavor of like grilled beef on top of it. It's like very, very unique. I haven't had another brisket that's like Snow's. And then the ribs are similar because they put the mop on it. Yeah. But they don't wrap it. And they cook, again, they cook it pretty hot too. So it's like the texture on the outside of the rib when you bite it is kind of.
Does the mop caramelize a little bit? Not
really. There's no sugar in it.
Okay.
So it's just like, it just kind of softens it because it's getting cooked. It's similar to what the foil is doing to the brisket, where it softens it, but it still has like a hardness to it. So I'm going to say this and it sounds bad. It's almost like a beef jerky layer on the top and then like nice tender meat.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like the meat itself almost caramelizes.
Yeah.
Not like there's a caramelized layer, but like the meat itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's very
I've
unique.
done that before.
Okay.
So I went to LA one time and cooked out there, and we cooked 125 racks of spares on an open pit like a hog cooker. But we built it out of cinder blocks. Yeah. It was cool as shit.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. That's real barbecue right there.
And we mopped them, right? And the mop had a little bit of ketchup in it, was really the only sugar base. Okay. But everything else was water and vinegar and juices and seasonings. Yeah. But it developed that it's like it's a bark almost, but it's not. But yeah, and it's super,
it's soft,
super,
but it's hard.
It's,
tons of flavor.
It's totally off the world from up. Yeah. If I had all the money in the world, I'd build me one of them pits. Yeah. Anybody want to donate a whole bunch of money? Feel free. Yeah. I'll give you my Venmo.
Yeah, there you go.
It's but cooking that's that style of cooking is a very old,
It is.
traditional barbecue. You know, when you're cooking with coal
Yeah.
and not fire and, you know, logs.
Yeah.
When you got a burn pit and a barbecue pit, those people know how to cook
Yeah.
because they don't use thermometers.
Yeah.
They use their hands.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I do that too, but like they're on another level.
Right.
Like I watched that. Did you watch that Netflix thing about Tootsie?
Of course. Yeah. One of my favorites. Yeah.
Like I would be, you want to talk about a dude that would geek out?
Yeah.
I would geek out next to her.
Yeah, you would.
I would. I mean, just
It's
like,
so funny, man.
Like Clay's cool.
Yeah.
Right. And I would love to meet him.
Right.
And I mean, I'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah.
Like we
yeah,
can kick
Clay
it.
is one of my favorite
Yeah.
people. He's
like
awesome.
I'm
I
sure
love
he's
Clay.
just a
Yeah.
good dude.
Huh.
Miss Tootsie, bro.
Yeah.
I'd just be like,
That's how everyone is, man. It's like that's a part of the attraction.
Yeah.
Like you see grown men and they're like walking up to her like slowly, like kind of timid. It's
Excuse
like
me?
really, yeah, exactly.
Excuse me?
ma'am. It's so funny, man.
I love it.
But it's sweet. She's so like nice and like she
Yeah.
takes pictures with everybody and you know, she's a tank too, man. She still works at that school 5 days a week. And then on Saturday she comes down and does
how old is she now?
barbecue. She's gonna be 90 this year. Yeah, I think April. I think is her, or March, April. Yeah, pretty soon she's gonna be 90.
Couple months.
Yeah, a couple months.
90 years old.
Yeah, still trucking, man.
Working 6 days a week.
Yeah,
And one of those days is the hardest anybody will work in their life.
yeah,
It's nuts.
yeah. She's insane. Yeah, it was surreal, like having her sit in front of me and like interview her. It was like, like if you like to see
Yeah.
like Tom Cruise or something, it's like, is this happening right
in the
now?
barbecue world, that's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
I would say, and you can agree or disagree with me.
Sure.
Please feel free to. I would say that she is almost more famous than Aaron Franklin.
I agree with that. I think she is. Yeah,
I think there's more people outside the barbecue world that know who Miss Tootsie is.
it's that chef's table, man. It put
Yeah.
her on the map. Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix has a way of doing it too.
Yeah, and it was a great special. I love it.
It really
I've
was.
seen that special probably like 10 times. Like I love it.
I love it. I
Yeah.
watch it a lot. Yeah,
Mhm.
they God, what's the place in? And I'm drawing a blank for some reason right now, but it was on that. It was on that same series. The place in Australia that cooks with nothing but wood.
Ooh, okay. I didn't even watch that episode yet.
Golly, I'll have to look it. I'll have to look it back up.
It's
I'll
not
let you know.
barbecue.
No, it's
Okay.
not. It's more upscale dining,
Okay.
but they cook with nothing but wood. They even char their salads
Oh wow.
on
Okay.
their, like they have it like an Argentinian style grill.
Got you. Okay.
Right? And so they're
Yeah.
cooking with just all their woods right there. And they like char their salads and they make, it's like this elevated s'more that just, I mean, just watching it, you're like, damn, I need to get a ticket to Australia. This is good. But I can't think of the name of it.
Okay.
I'm going to think of it as soon as we get done with the show.
Probably.
But
That's how it goes.
yeah. All right. So we're going to get back to storytelling in a minute, but I got a segment in our show we call Mac or Beans.
Okay.
Okay. It's a this or that segment.
Yeah.
So you got to pick one, which is your favorite, which is not, etc.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want like a quick answer? Or you want like explanation and everything?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll
Play it
see.
by ear. Let's do it.
Depends on how controversial
Okay.
your answers are.
Okay.
All right. So obviously, number one, mac and cheese or the beans.
Mac and cheese. I actually don't like beans.
Don't like beans.
No.
Wow.
But I did eat the beans when I went to Burnt Bean, and I liked them, which was crazy.
How do you go to burnt bean and not eat the beans?
I had to. I had to break my rule. It was good. But like this,
Is there anything that dude cooks that's not good?
oh my God, Ernest is like that dude's
He's the real deal.
beast. Yeah, that dude is a chef, like for real. Yeah.
I didn't realize that he didn't cook the brisket, that his partner cooked the brisket.
Well, he starts it, and then the partner pulls him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But his partner is just as good at brisket as he is because he
Yeah.
taught him everything. So like
Yeah.
Dave is legit. Like Super Dave is like a good cook. Like
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I was looking at all of his stuff, and I was like, ooh.
dude, that pork chop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, I was, You had me salivating.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
That's
see
all
this.
him,
I
man.
can't wait to see the Snows episode.
Oh yeah,
man.
the snow's gonna be good. It'll be a good one. Best
All
one
right,
yet.
so mac and cheese. Don't necessarily like beans. Ernest gets the win for the beans.
Yeah.
And you've done what? How many shows have you done?
Wow, great question. I think 15-ish.
So out of 15 restaurants that you've done, and you filmed 16 or 17 by now.
Mm-hmm.
So Ernest gets the win for the beans. So
yeah.
for those of you who are on the books for Ant's BBQ Cookout, you better get him to try the beans. All right. I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyways. Brisket or pork if you're cooking it.
Wow.
Not going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? You're coming up this weekend. Hey, honey, want some barbecue? We're going to cook.
I guess like if that's the scenario, I would say pork because it's going to be a lot shorter. But if I'm trying to get the best product that I can make, it would be brisket. Yeah.
Food, what you want to eat, not necessarily time.
Oh, gotcha.
You got all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
You know, there's no
Brisket,
time limit.
for sure.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is earlier I said that whole hog is my favorite barbecue. I can't do it yet. I want to learn.
It's fun.
But I can't do that. So brisket's gonna beat a rack of ribs to me. Yeah.
When you say whole hog is your best or your favorite,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting sidetracked here, but
No, it's fine. I love sidetracks.
whole hog, there's many different ways to cook whole hog.
Mm.
And this will lead into my next question, but
Okay.
like if you go to Tootsie's place,
Yeah.
they got a whole hog cooker,
Mhm.
right? You go to Carolina and check out Sam Jones,
Yeah.
Rodney Scott. Here in Nashville, you got Peg Leg Porker
That's right.
with Carrie,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Pat Martin.
All these guys are incredibly talented at
Yeah.
cooking whole hogs,
Mm-hmm.
and all the ones that I just named all cook them
Yeah.
on an open pit,
Yeah.
right? Center block pit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried cooking one on an offset?
A whole hog?
Yeah.
Never. No, that would be like a fool's game, I believe.
I'm going to blow your mind.
Okay.
I'm not great at cooking them on an
Yeah.
open pit. I've done it.
Yeah.
I'll cook you one on an offset.
Wow. How do you get the
crazy.
skin crispy?
I don't.
Okay. Just take it off.
I just don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't use the typically when I'm doing a whole hog, I don't do it at the restaurant every day.
Yeah.
We do it for special occasions.
Mm-hmm.
We got a big event in April that we're going to do, the Veteran Barbecue Bash.
Yeah.
So I'll cook one then because we'll have a whole bunch of people. I can cook the hog.
Yeah.
We can sell it straight off the hog. And you know as well as I do, if you can get a whole hog versus a pork butt or a shoulder,
Oh yeah.
it's
So much
just
better.
it's not a question. But
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to pull that thing out of my smoker and go, ooh,
Yeah.
right? Pretty yummy.
Yeah. I think I've
So-
seen a picture of yours on the offset
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Yeah. It looked good.
It's cool.
It did look really
It's
good.
cool.
Yeah.
It's really good. All right, so I'm a traditionalist. But when you get into commercialized barbecue, even whether you have 1 or 20 units doesn't really make a difference. When you get into commercialized barbecue and you start producing, 20, 30 briskets a day, 20, 30 pork butts a day, you start really jumping up into the realm of pushing out some volume.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to make a decision of whether or not to have multiple offsets, which can be very expensive to the point of craziness when you start thinking about places like Aaron Franklin that cook 100 briskets a day, right?
Yeah.
So do you think on a rotisserie versus a traditional offset that you can produce the same quality of barbecue?
No, I think it's different. And I think you got to cook them different.
Yep.
I think the only thing that offsets have on rotisseries is time. That there's so much data. There's so many people who are cooking on offsets, and like dialing it in. Like it's gotten to the point where there's like two really good styles of brisket, in my opinion. Like the traditional old school style where they like, you know, either you do like a mustard and like pickle juice binder and it's just salt and pepper, or you like wet age the brisket, get it like really beefy and then you salt and pepper it, or like the new school like Aaron Franklin Goldie style where it's like really salty but like has like MSG in it and it's just like really like punched with like a lot of flavor. Like those styles of brisket were made for the offset. And when you have a brisket that's like cooked really well on a rotisserie, the question becomes like, which one's better? Not like, I think that's the trouble that a lot of people get into is like, you can't recreate an offset brisket on a rotisserie. I don't think you can, but you can make a really, really good rotisserie style brisket and then pose that question, like, is this better than an offset brisket? And I think it could get there potentially.
So that brings me to the point of there's a company in Texas called M&M, which you know.
Yeah.
I'm really big fans of M&M.
Okay.
Those guys, I think, just do some really incredible work.
Yeah, cool guys. I like them.
And they have taken rotisseries really to the next level. Right?
Yes.
Now, I have a primitive offset pit that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I could go to sleep in that thing. It's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
It's a pretty little girl.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the owner of Single Tree Barbecue, located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 2805 Old Fort Parkway. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 until 8 p.m. and on Sundays from 11 to 3. If you want some smoked wings all the way to some Texas-style smoked brisket, y'all come see us. We have some amazing lunch specials during the week and outstanding barbecue right here in the Middle Tennessee area. We can't wait to see you guys. But those pits that they're producing are 100% wood.
Yes.
No gas. So you get into a lot of these companies are using old hickories or J&Rs or Southern Prides that are gas assisted along with the wood, right? So, and I get it from a labor and time standpoint and all the things.
Yeah.
But I think if I was going to produce an offset brisket on a rotisserie, that's M&M's probably got the best pit for that.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. But I just got back from Prime and they have J&Rs. Everything's J&R.
Okay.
And I would say that their brisket is easily the best rotisserie brisket I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah. But I will say this, that their pits look different than regular J&R smoke masters that I've seen before. And I've never seen an oiler in person until oiler is like the rotisserie style one that J&R makes. But what I noticed about it is it seemed like it didn't have a gas assist either. That it's just exactly the way the M&M looks, where it's like a box. You put the fire in there, and then they have their intake and valve system, and then
thermostat, but not no gas.
Yeah, that guy Christopher from Prime Barbecue, that guy, like that food,
pretty yummy.
Yeah, they got number 2 on the Texas Monthly top barbecue places in the U.S. Yeah, yeah, that place is really good. That episode's gonna come out probably the beginning of February.
That's a pretty tall order.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 2 on Texas Monthly ain't no joke.
I'm telling you, like they probably should have got number 1. Again, I haven't tried the number 1 spot yet, but that food was so good. Like
who was? Well, the new list is this year.
That's for Texas. I was talking about Daniel Vaughn made a list where it was like the top Texas barbecue joints outside of Texas.
Outside of Texas.
Yeah. That was the first time he ever done that list, and Prime Barbecue got number 2 on it. Great guy. I love Christopher. He's an awesome guy. Yeah.
Well, he didn't come and eat at my place, so the list is invalid.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I got to tell Danny Vaughn.
Yeah,
speak to Danny Vaughn
Danny,
right now.
come on, man. What are you doing? Come see me. I got a spot for you. Chairs are warm and comfortable.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. Let's go back to a little bit of storytelling. So you're going to do, you said 40 stories this year?
No. Every 4 weeks. So
every 4
13.
weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
13
every
this
4
year.
weeks. I don't know why I got 40.
I wish. If I had, I'm doing it all by myself. If I had a team, I could probably do 40, but it's just not possible.
Sponsors?
But yeah, I mean, at the same time, like I like to have my hands all over the editing and the story and the filming too. So
Yeah.
even if I had the money, I don't know if I would
Yeah.
relinquish that creative
It's tough,
expression.
isn't it?
It is, yeah.
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 So you've filmed quite a few different stories so far. And you don't have to tell me the answer to this if you don't want to.
I probably will, but
Okay.
I'm gonna ask.
And excluding me.
Yeah.
All right. Who did you have? Who did you enjoy? What story did you enjoy filming the most? And then I would like to know why.
Yeah.
That's out of
pretty easy to answer, and it's always the last one that I do. Because and like I really mean that because like, you know, kind of like when I was telling my story, like I'm not a director producer of, you know, documentaries. I didn't study that. I just picked this up last summer.
right.
It's only been a year and a half, and I'm learning every single episode. So like when I go out in the field every single time, I learn something new from the last episode. So like what makes me so excited about what I do is like the world's not ready yet because like I suck at what I do right now. I don't know. I barely know what I'm doing.
You do not suck. I understand you want to learn.
Yeah.
But you don't suck.
Well, thank you.
You're
I
doing a pretty
appreciate
phenomenal job. I had a gentleman come see me yesterday,
Really?
and he didn't even eat.
Okay.
But because of you, he walked into my restaurant, asked to see me. He is a Marine Corps veteran. His name's Charles. He lives here in Murfreesboro. He saw the episode, absolutely loved it, wanted to come meet me, and can't wait to come and eat in the restaurant. He just got done eating, didn't realize he was as close as he was to my restaurant, and wanted to come see me.
Wow.
So because of what you did, it actually impacted this gentleman's life enough to where he wanted to stop his day and come actually meet me.
Cool.
Right. So like that was better than him coming to eat in my restaurant, you know? So don't think you suck. Okay. We can always get better.
All I'm saying is like, I wish I could delete and reshoot like all like the first 10 episodes, like at this point. And that's it. I want to feel that way. Like I want to look back at like the burnt bean episode in like 6 months and say like, that is such a bad episode. Like I want, if I don't feel like that, then like I'm not getting better.
Well, then if you don't feel that way, then you're not trying to get better. Right. I looked, somebody said something along those lines to me about 6 months ago, and I went back and we were talking about storytelling and social media and the whole nine. And I went back and I looked at some of my content from when I first started publishing content.
It's hard to watch.
And it was, I mean, it was cringeworthy, man. It was like, ooh, why did you put, man.
Yeah.
Who taught you how to edit?
Hey, me too, bro. Yeah, we all been there.
Good Lord.
It's bad. I have a lot of privated videos.
Right. Yeah. I love it. It's great. All right. So you got Snows that by the time this comes out will be out. You got Prime.
Yeah.
That will be coming out in February.
Yeah. That's going to be a good one.
Do you have anybody, do you have anything booked?
Yeah. I'm actually going next week.
What you got booked?
I'm shooting the
Can
last.
you say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be at Goldie's.
Oh.
So the funny thing is, right? Like I shoot a lot of content with Goldies. Like I love those guys, right?
Yeah.
Like Johnny, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Love Lane, love Jalen. But the thing is, I never did a barbecue story at their place. Like I've done videos there. I have probably like 5 videos. But I never did a barbecue story before.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the last video they do before the next list comes out. So this is going to be pretty epic. I'm going to be there for the whole week. So usually you see me, I shoot usually, which blows a lot of people away when I tell them, like, it's just me. I come there with just my camera. I might have someone helping me for this one though, on one of the days, but it's just me. And I go for like 3 days, right? Yeah. This one I'm going for the whole week. So I'll be there from Monday until Friday for.
It's going to be a lot of content.
Oh yeah. This is going to be a good episode.
It's going to be a lot of content. I love it. So, got Goldies. Anybody else?
Yeah, Victorian. Yeah,
you got Victorian.
We talked about it,
awesome.
And we're gonna do. I'm gonna have to move it because we were supposed to do it beginning of February, but I think he had like some scheduling conflict anyway. He was gonna be out of town.
Okay,
so I'm gonna see if I can move him to like the middle to like the 20th of February.
He's a good dude, man. You'll have fun down there with him.
He seems really interesting. Like just that alone kind of intrigued me, just like his style and like the way he carries himself.
His hat game is serious.
Yeah, I saw that.
His hat game is serious.
On the Netflix what is that series? Like he had the little like
yeah. I can't wait. You're gonna have to send me some pictures.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, the amount of content that you get, I mean, you're there for 3 to 5 days of filming.
Yeah.
You could turn probably 80% of the content that you get into short form. So is there a reason why you don't?
I don't have someone to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, like I was just talking to my wife about this yesterday. It's like, it's crazy just alone. Like if I was just an employee, right? And I had the job that I have, it's like the work of like 4 people, right? It's like I have to plan, book, and interview these people. I have to go out and then I have to film it and then plan the shots. And then I have to then come back and edit it all. And then I have to like music, everything, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm running a business. So I got to make sure the taxes are filed. I got to make sure the expense reports are good and I'm all in line. I got to make sure all the administrative stuff, all the filings, everything. So it's like, people ask me that a lot. Like, why don't you do shorts? I've had people come to me, I'll do shorts for you for free. I'd say, sure, take it and do it. And they never do. But I understand there's like so much value in it. It's just like right now, like if I had more money, I would hire somebody to just take it and make shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of hit me a minute ago. Cause we were talking about how you felt like the growth of your channel had slowed down. And I wonder if you took some of those as like teasers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe we could find somebody that could do shorts for you for a low cost.
That'd be cool.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Any takers?
Anybody?
Yeah, hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. Let's make it happen. So, all right. Let me see where my thing is here. Every 4 weeks, storytelling.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone today if they wanted to be a part of your program, have you come out and shoot? How do they get in touch with you?
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah, I guess the way that I've been doing it is like word of mouth.
Yep.
So like at this point, I've made some pretty good relationships with the people that I've shot at already. And they have like pretty good connections with everybody that they tell me like, anybody you want to shoot with, just ask me. But I mean, at the same time, if there's ever a time when somebody reaches out, like they hit me up on Instagram or something, which they do all the time, and I look at their stuff.
Not to name names, but any of the ones that outside of, I know Joey, but
yeah,
the other 2 that we talked about.
Yeah. No, we started conversations.
Okay.
But I think it's so far in advance that we're kind of like that conversation's tabled for right now.
Okay.
Because again, I was booked, at the time we talked, I was already booked to February, and I had already talked to Joey.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, March, and it's like, well, that's 4 months out. Like,
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just making sure I can follow up.
Yeah. No, that one's gonna be sick because I love it when they're in different regions, and like a lot of people don't understand like Bay Area culture, and like I don't understand it fully either, but like just like hyphy music and stuff like that, like incorporating that in the video is gonna be so like dope. I really want to do that video. Yeah, that's gonna be a really good episode.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
You got a couple that I'm kind of jonesing to see, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of jonesing to see.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody, let's say, who's on the bucket list for you to do a series on?
Well, I'd say for this year, a goal of mine was that I want to shoot all of the top 5 from the last list.
Okay.
I wanted to do the 4 barbecue joints that got the first Michelin star. So that would be really cool because I think Interstellar is on both of those lists. So that's like 2 birds, 1 stone. Roy and Lewis also got a Michelin star. That's 2 birds, 1 stone. So that would be like, that's my goal for this year, is to do that top 5 and the
that's pretty good.
Winners. Yeah.
So who was number 1 on the list?
It was Goldie's.
Goldie's was number 1.
So I'm knocking that one out first.
You got 1 done.
Yeah. And then Bernardino was also number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franklin was 5, wasn't he?
No, Franklin was 7.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Snows was 8.
Aaron, it's time to step up, man. All right. So if Interstellar, Franklin, somebody you haven't done yet,
Yeah.
that somebody that would be a bucket list item, right?
Yeah.
That how would they get a hold of you to get you to book something later on in the year?
It wouldn't even be just those people. Like I would say to me, it's like criteria is for me is like, you got to be open for at least like a couple years. I had a lot of people who were like, hey, I just started this thing. And it's like, well, your story hasn't started yet. You know what I mean? Like you got to kind of like, it's hard.
You got to start to build your own story first.
Right. It's like, I think there's like a crazy statistic. I don't remember what it is, but it's like the first 2 years, like most businesses close down. It's like
90% of all small business close within the first 3 years.
Yeah.
90% of the 10% that's left close in the first 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my criteria is like
the stat, and I don't remember the stat, but the stat that's even crazier than that is the ones that are profitable after that 5 years is even lower than that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's just like among those that have survived, they're like on the decline. Like they probably will not. Wow, it's really sad.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's tough business. So, look, reach out to Ant if you want to get involved.
Please do.
If you want to, if you got a story and you want to get it out there, he does an absolutely phenomenal job.
Yeah. Instagram, hit me up on Instagram. Sorry,
hit him up on Instagram.
Ant's BBQ Cookout Instagram. That's my handle.
Ant's BBQ Cookout. Love it. If you want to get involved, man, I'm telling you, he's phenomenal. You'll love working with him. Anything else you want to tell the audience?
No, that was pretty much it. That's my story.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time for our Friday feel good.
Okay.
Okay. So align your priorities with your purpose. What truly matters will always guide you to where you're meant to be. There's 86,400 seconds in every single day. Make sure that you spend them purposefully working towards your goals and your priorities.
I love that.
You guys know what to do. Find somebody you know and tell them you love them. And until next time, guys, we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.